I was talking with my son Timmy the other day about atheism and how we think it doesn't make a lot of sense. Timmy came up with a great analogy, a great visual that I thought I would share with you guys today. Because I think when we're talking about the universe, sometimes it's so big. The universe is enormous, like unfathomably big. I think that's a word. Well, a lot of times when we say, we've proven now through the Big Bang Theory that everything came from nothing. There at one point was nothing, and then there was the entire universe. The Big Bang Theory was able to use calculations to reverse the speed of light back to its original state. We know now the universe is expanding at the speed of light or faster than the speed of light, something like that. And so at one point there was a beginning. We know this. And it's interesting. The beginning started as the Bible said. The Bible says in Hebrews that we by faith believe that everything came from nothing. Before the Big Bang Theory was proven, everyone used to, the atheist community out there, they didn't want to believe in a beginning. A lot of people just believed the universe was eternal. Really, based on their theories, they needed the universe to be eternal for their worldview to make sense. And so a lot of atheists used to not want to believe in the Big Bang Theory, but it became so overwhelming that we now know there was a beginning. Everything really did come from nothing. We know this. We know that the Bible was right 2,000 years ago. Science finally caught up with it. Well, so that's just so big. Like when we talk about that, we're like, that is just so crazy that you would think everything, you believe that there was nothing at one point, and then everything came into existence from nothing without God being involved. That seems crazy. Well, that is crazy in our opinion, but that's just so big that he came up with a great analogy that I thought I would share with you. So instead of thinking about the universe, let's think of something that we can actually visualize. Think of a doghouse. Okay. Imagine we wanted to build a doghouse. Okay. We wanted a doghouse to be built. That's something you can visualize. Well, here's the two options that you have. Say there's two rooms. Okay. In one room, there is a master doghouse builder. He has been building doghouses for 40 years. He knows exactly how to build a doghouse perfectly. He's built hundreds of them, and he has all the materials he needs to build the doghouse. He's in a room. He has all the tools he needs to build a doghouse. Okay, so that's one room. There's another room that has all the materials you need to build the doghouse. So the wood, the nails, the paint, everything. And there's a bomb. So there's no person in there at all. No intelligent being. There's just a bomb. Okay. And we start like a timer and we say, okay, now both of you build a doghouse. Okay. Which is more likely to happen? Is it going to be the man who is the master builder, or the room with a bomb and all the materials you need? You just cause the explosion to happen, and boom, there's a doghouse. Okay, so a doghouse is a lot simpler than the universe. Okay, we're like, the universe is infinitely more complex. Everything had to perfectly line up. All the constants of the universe had to be perfect. We had to be located in the perfect place in the universe, on the perfect planet for life to exist. As far as we know, life doesn't exist anywhere else in the universe. Anyway, but so that was the first example. But then I was thinking, that's actually being too generous, because atheists believe that everything came from nothing. So it's actually too generous in that second room, not the room with the master builder in it, but the second room, for there to be the materials you need to build the doghouse. So really there should just be a bomb in there, a bomb with nothing in there at all. And then the other room with the person and everything you need to build everything. Okay. And then you just explode the bomb and expect there to be a doghouse after. Well, then I was thinking, you know what? Even that is too generous because, again, atheists believe everything came from nothing, literally nothing. So the bomb wouldn't be there. Okay. The bomb being there would be too generous. Really, it should be a room with nothing in it at all. And then the room with the master builder, everything you need to build the doghouse. Then after that, though, we were thinking that is even too generous. Okay. Because that room, if it's on planet Earth, it's going to have air in it. You know, it's going to have oxygen, nitrogen, all the things. It'll have gravity. So even that's a bit too generous. So we're thinking that room on planet Earth, that's not a fair comparison because, again, atheists believe everything came from nothing. So it would be better, instead of the room with air in it and gravity, transplant that room out into outer space in the middle of nowhere. It has to be so far away from any star or anything, because if it's even around stars where you like can see light, well, there'd be light there. Again, we're talking about nothing. It came from nothing at all. So somehow you'd have to get somewhere in the universe where there's nothing at all. What were you going to say, Timmy?
But the doghouse, there's a room for the doghouse still, so there shouldn't be a room.
Yeah, that was it. So even the room itself was too generous. So really, you'd have to find somewhere in the universe where there's no light, nothing at all, and no room. That's what it is. And even that, I don't think that would be technically what the beginning of the universe would be, which was nothing, because there'd still be space. You'd still be in some sort of space. Space doesn't exist before the Big Bang. Okay, so what we're getting at here is, as Christians, all we're saying is we believe in that there was a builder that had everything necessary to build everything. You're saying you're going with nothing. The room in the middle of darkness in the universe, no light, nothing at all. We're saying what is more likely to be true? Okay, we know the universe came from nothing, like the Bible says in Hebrews, the book of Hebrews of the Bible. We know that that's true now. It's been proven. Okay, so knowing that, which is more likely? If you're just going purely based on statistics, being honest with yourself. If you're an atheist watching this, just be honest with yourself. What is more likely? What would be more likely to end up with a doghouse? Would it be the master builder with all the things he needs to build the doghouse? Or would it be a space in darkness, out in outer space with nothing at all? All we're saying is, as Christians, we're going with the master builder. As an atheist, you're choosing to believe in the option where you're out in the middle of outer space, there's nothing there, and somehow a doghouse is going to appear. So I just thought that was a good example. I feel like when you bring things, I don't know, when you make things more visual, it makes more sense. I think it was, I don't know if it was Hitler or Stalin who said something like, if the government kills 10 people, it's a tragedy that everyone's horrified about. If the government kills 10 million people, it's a statistic. His point was 10 million people is just so many people that once you're up to millions of people that you're killing, people just stop keeping track of it. It doesn't really hit the heart as well as if you're saying like 10 people, you know 10 people. You could actually visualize those 10 people. Well, I think this is a good example. What I just said is so much more simpler than the whole universe. Okay. Like a doghouse is infinitely more simple than the universe. So if you don't think that a doghouse could have come from nothing out in the middle of outer space, if you think that's impossible, which it is, you shouldn't even be getting close to thinking that the universe came into being from nothing Again, from nothing. Nothing. The whole universe came from nothing. That can't happen on its own. The only way that that is possible is if there is an intelligent, supernatural being who created the natural world. That's the only thing that makes sense. God is a supernatural being who exists outside of the physical world. He's supernatural. He's not part of the physical world. The Bible says he's spirit and he's invisible. You can't see him. So he's not part of the physical world. So he, living outside of the physical world, could create the physical world. He has all the power to do it. He had all the resources to do it. That theory actually makes sense. If you're going to go with one theory, that theory actually makes sense. The theory that everything came from nothing makes no sense at all. If you are an atheist, if you've never put your trust in Jesus Christ before, I encourage you. Jesus Christ has changed my life. Before I was living for him, I was very depressed and sad all the time and lonely. After I put my faith in Jesus Christ, truly, things started going really good. I found my wife recently. After that, I started having kids. I started having a really good life when I put my faith and trust in Jesus Christ. And I'm married to somebody that I trust. That's another thing. We really care about our marriage. We're not having to worry about each other cheating on each other or anything like that. And it's all because we've made Jesus the center of our lives. And life is just so much better when you have the hope of Jesus Christ in your heart. You know that you're going to live forever with him if you trust in him. But the other side of that is the Bible says if you do not put your faith in Jesus Christ, then you're going to spend forever in a place called hell, which is a lake of fire, where you'll be under God's wrath forever. And there's no getting out of it. So I encourage you, if you haven't already, please read the Bible. You could start in the Gospel of Matthew. That's a good book. It's where you can see the teachings of Jesus Christ. Just start in the book of Matthew and read to the end of the book. And then that's called the New Testament. And then once you're done with that, you can go back to the beginning and then read through. The Bible's a kind of book where it's kind of not the best idea to start at the beginning unless you are like an avid reader and you love to read and could actually have the motivation to read it all. It's a really big book. For most people, it's great to start in the New Testament and something like Matthew. And just listen to the words of Jesus and ask yourself, is this the words of a normal human being, or are these the words of God? And every time I read the Bible, I always think these are not just human words. These are definitely the words of God. Let us know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon if you'd like to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.